Well, hello again, and welcome to another Heart to Heart talk with me. I'm John Kuert, the interim pastor at First Assembly in Newcastle, Pennsylvania. Thanks for stopping by my office once again and joining me for this little thought, this little devotional. Hope it helps you along life's road and brings blessing and also challenges you, because we need that, don't we? I really do appreciate the great people at First Assembly, and if you're one of them, well, I just want to say I love and appreciate each and every one of you, and have enjoyed this past year. We don't know what the future holds, but we trust that God will help us as we move forward, as the church moves forward, as we in our personal lives move forward. But at any rate, I know that we have to just take everything that we can from God, and not just take a little bit at a time, but take everything that He has for us each and every day. I think that God has so much more for us than what we take and that we use. And I think it's better for us, if it will be better for us in everything, in our lives, our families, our church, if we take as much as we can of God each and every day. You know, there's a story told about a fellow who had been raised in a city like myself. I've been raised in Philadelphia all my life. This fellow had been reared in the city, and he bought a farm. And in that farm, there were several milk cows. And in the feed store one day, he complained that his best cow had gone dry. And the store owner asked him, "Well, aren't you feeding her right?" And he said, "I'm feeding her what you've been selling me." And the man behind the counter said, "Are you milking her every day?" He said, "Just about. If I need 6 or 8 ounces of milk for breakfast, I go out and get it. If I don't need any, I just don't get it. I just let her save it up." Well, the feed store owner had to explain it. It doesn't work that way with cows. You take all that's there, or you eventually have nothing. Well, with God's power and presence, I think it's the same. I know that's a rather simple little story, but it illustrates the truth. With God's power and presence, it's the same. We should take all that's there, or else we will eventually have nothing, or at least very little and much less than what we could have had. Asking for God's power in 6 ounce doses, or asking sporadically, only at our convenience, may mean for us that the source will dry up. In one of the Apostle Paul's prayers, he prayed for us to be filled with all the fullness of God. I don't know about you, but when I read that and I think about that, to be filled with all the fullness of God. If that were to literally happen, I think we'd have a meltdown. And really, I think we'd have a revival. What I think Paul meant was be filled with all His power and all His presence that's available for you each and every day. We can't take a whole lot more than what we need for that day. It's not something that we can say, "I'm going to store this up until a day that I really need it." No, we just take what we need for that day and take it all. Don't just take a little bit of it, but take it all. And I think that as we do that, we will see God do greater things in our lives, and we will see His presence and His power manifested in our situations, whatever they might be. So just think about that today, and be determined. We talked about determination yesterday. Be determined that we're going to take everything that God has for us today and be filled with all the fullness of God, and do that again day after day, and just let Him come into your heart and your life in new dimensions. I believe God has a new thing for us all the time, and we can't live in the past and try to recreate the past, no matter how good it was. God has new things in store for us, and so believe Him for great new things on the horizon. Well, God bless you. Lord willing, tonight, this is Wednesday, we have prayer meeting at 6:30 at the church at First Assembly there in 2021 Pulaski Road, Newcastle. And I would encourage you to come and pray with us. We just have a short devotional, and then we spend the time mostly in prayer. And then we have a circle of prayer afterward where we have specific needs that we can pray for. So, Lord willing, I hope to see you there. And don't forget Sundays at 10:30 a.m. At First Assembly. It's a great service, and the new pastor, Pastor Steve DeSantis, will be coming on March the 21st, I believe. And so we need to pray for him. God will give him wisdom to help the church go forward. Well, God bless you today, and Lord willing, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.